Hello, world. Welcome to another episode of Ruel Media's Dance Showcase, where it's all about dance. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Nikki, LaShae, and we've certainly got a great show in store for you. Today, we'll be checking out Maynard Jackson High School's Fall Dance Concert. But first, we're going to allow you to peek inside the world of Atlanta Dance Connection by checking out their production, Dark Allure. Hello, everyone out there. I'm your host, Nikki LaShae, and welcome. You're watching Dance Showcase, where dance lives. I'm here with the lovely Allyne Gartrell of Atlanta Dance Connection. How are you today?
Doing wonderful. And yourself?
I'm great, thank you. So listen, I'm so interested to know, what is your history in dance? Like, what was your favorite genre?
Well, when I first started dancing here in Atlanta, I got my start here at the DeKalb School of the Arts. I'm an alumnus of the school, one of the first graduates of the school, actually.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. It was introduced to dance at the school. A wonderful dancer by the name of Cheryl Thomas, who had graduated from the school prior, said, "Hey, I want to take you somewhere." She took me to this wonderful man named Gary Harrison, and from that point on, he opened my eyes to this world of dance here in Atlanta, and he became my mentor in dance. So from that point on, classical ballet, jazz, modern dance, anything that we could get our hands onto, that was what we were aspiring to do.
All right. So would you say the more classical genres of dance, more so than maybe hip hop or Latin influences, are the main components of your company today?
The Atlanta Dance Connection is comprised really of this beautiful thing called Allynism, and it is a wonderful blend of fusion of all the techniques. Once leaving here in Atlanta and leaving Atlanta to go off and study abroad, I was able to adapt to so many other techniques and styles and cultures. And so what I took from that experience is to take all of that and blend it together, and I came up with this wonderful way that I like to move that I think is effective. So now we have Allynism with the Atlanta Dance Connection, and it is a fusion of all of those classical styles and then also traditional dance and ethnic dance as well, because dance is from the heart, so it's everything.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. So, Allyne, I hear that Atlanta Dance Connection does a lot of work as far as community outreach programs and pushing the arts and getting people involved. So tell the public how Atlanta Dance Connection participates in activities such as that and helps people, get involved with dance.
Okay. Well, the Atlanta Dance Connection, we are the official professional dance company of AREA, which is Atlanta's resource for entertainment and the arts. That is our professional partner, and it is our training facility for our dancers and young dancers and pre-professionals and also professional dancers to come and have an opportunity to learn technical dancing from that perspective. But also along with that, our educational partner is Maynard Jackson High School, and so we have an educational partnership with the school system, the Atlanta Public School System. We do various community programs such as, what do we do?
I heard you guys offer scholarships too.
We do scholarships. We have a wonderful program in the summer called the Convergence, and it is a 2-week intensive training program where dancers from the local area and then also from all around the country come and they converge here in Atlanta for 2 weeks to be exposed to our type of dance, which is Allynism, and then also everything that the Atlanta Dance Connection has to offer as far as training and guidance and structure. So we do that. So we offer scholarships to the students of Maynard Jackson High School, but we also have a public audition where we open it up to the public, and we invite students from around the local area to come and audition for those scholarships to participate in the program as well.
That is wonderful. So everybody has a chance. And that's a wonderful example of professional networking, how we can all eat together and live and love together and just spread the love of art and appreciation for the arts together. So it's a beautiful thing. Now, here's another question for you. I'm going to make you think real hard now. As a professional in the dance industry and based in Atlanta, what would you say are some of the things that Atlanta needs to improve on in order to compete with the droves of talent and bigger cities like LA or New York? What's a way that we can improve amongst ourselves in this industry here?
Well, I think Atlanta, really thrives on a very vibrant history of arts here in our community and in our city. And as we've seen our city grow and change, it became commercial, and we had a lot of commercialism come to the city, which was a wonderful thing for the artists because it continued to give dancers and singers and musicians opportunities. I think one thing that is missing here in the fabric of our city is that collaborative works between artists, because art is for everyone, it's for the people. And so if we continue to be so segregated with our art, we will never be able to build a fabric that will sustain us. So as we continue to go forward, the Atlanta Dance Connection is really, really part of our mission statement, is to build those artistic bridges and mend those gaps where they've been broken, and to do collaborative efforts, projects with other artists within the city, within the community, and bring more visibility to our city, because we are a national city just like any other. Our artistic community tops that or trumps that of any other. I am proud to be in Atlanta, native here, so I know what the arts have to offer here.
Another question for you in regards to, professional training. What are some of the components that Atlanta Dance Connection stresses, when training their dancers or keeping their dancers conditioned for productions? What are some of the key components that you guys just really try to enforce with your dancers?
Well, we are a very, very traditional company in certain ways, and then we're non-traditional in others. Our traditional approach is that ballet is your foundation. So you must always go back to your ballet because it teaches you aesthetic quality and structure and strengthening of your core. And then once you have structure, we can go in and put the icing on the cake, and we can get you to do whatever it is that we want you to do. But you have to have that foundation first, which is that classical ballet. So we really stress with our dancers the importance of technique, the importance of taking care of them, of their bodies from the inside out, and not just cosmetically. We want to make sure that they're nutritionally, moving forward with what they need to do. So it's a total 24/7, educational process.
Absolutely. The dancing never stops. It's a lifestyle, not just a class, folks. Now, I want to get to the meat on top of the bones. You have this series called
Discover the Allure.
Discover the Allure. Isn't that enticing? And so the most recent one is called the Dark Allure, correct? So tell us a little bit about that series, and and what it's about. It just sounds so mysterious, and tell us about it.
Well, we had a wonderful brainstorming project over the summer, and we were trying to find out exactly what is so appealing, or why are people so interested in what the Atlanta Dance Connection has to offer. And when we began to sit with our marketing and our media people, we were brainstorming and throwing out different ideas. And so we continued to come up with this word allure. Alluring. What is alluring about the Atlanta Dance Connection? What is it that is enticing, that continues to keep the public coming back constantly? So we decided that, well, let's discover the allure of the Atlanta Dance Connection. So that is indeed our season opener for the entire season, is Discovering the Allure. And as we present our public performances, each public performance has a different title. So one is the Dark Allure, which was over our Halloween weekend. And it was
appropriately titled.
Appropriately. And appealing to those things that are a little bit darker in nature, discovering your darker side. Okay. So the different ballets that were presented on that particular program were ballets of a darker nature, a little bit more heavy subject matter, something that will titillate your darker side.
Okay, so that's for our more mature dancers.
Exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely. So is there a website, Facebook? How can the public just find out about you, follow you, learn about the shows?
Oh, you can go on our website, which is www.atlantadanceconnection.com. We are also on Facebook. We're also on Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter as well. ATL Dance Source is another dance source here in Atlanta where you can find our information. Dance Informa, we are listed. We're also listed with the International Association of Blacks in Dance.
All right. That is wonderful. Well, it was certainly a pleasure. Thank you for spending time with Dance Showcase, Mr. Allyne Gartrell. Yes. Thank you. And so, yes, the Atlanta dance scene has a lot to offer, and I'm so proud that we have such talented organizations and companies and artists such as Mr. Gartrell here that are just amping it up. And thank you for all that you do.
You're welcome.
And keep it going. And you have the Supportive Dance Showcase. Thank you all.
And I look forward to seeing you at our next concert.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So you just heard a word from Mr. Allyne Gartrell. Now take a look at some highlights from the production, The Dark Allure.
want to get hype.
Hello, I'm your host, Nikki LaShae, and today I'm here with the lovely Miss Tiffany Mingo. She is the dance teacher and the artistic director of Maynard Jackson High School right here in the beautiful Atlanta. How are you today, Tiffany?
I'm great.
Good. So I'm just dying to know, tell me about your dance program. What are some of the classes that you offer in order to develop a great curriculum?
Okay. First, our dance program is within the Fine Arts and Media Communications small learning community here at Maynard. We have 3 separate schools. So within the Fine Arts, the students have the opportunity to train in the dance pathway. And within that pathway, we offer dance and ballet, which has a sequence of 1, 2, 3, and 4 based upon levels, as well as a men's class where we have several male students from our football team, as well as a dance composition and a dance history course.
So you see ballet is not just for girls. As a matter of fact, I've heard of some professional athletes taking ballet. It helps with agility, balance, all kind of stuff. So what's your background in dance?
Well, I began dancing when I was 8 years old. I started in African dance at a community cultural center. Then I attended a performing arts school in dance in Buffalo, New York. And so I transitioned about 12 years ago to the Atlanta area. Also, I have several degrees in dance and currently working on my doctoral studies in art education. So the art of dance is something very passionate for me. And the opportunity to be in a high school centralized right in the urban city of Atlanta has been a true privilege to train the students.
That is amazing. So you're from New York?
Yes, I'm from Buffalo, upstate.
All right. So did you hang out around Steps on Broadway?
Oh, definitely. Upstate New York it's actually about 8 hours from New York City, but I trained in New York City as well, took classes all the time.
So about your dance program, what makes the Tiffany Mingo designed a dance program of Maynard Jackson High School different and unique from other high schools?
I would say it's truly based upon my background. As I said, I started in African dance, was my very first dance idiom of training. And what I've discovered, and as we all know, it takes a village to raise a child. What I've discovered with dance programming, it's a large job, a big responsibility. So what I've done here at Maynard is pilot and collaborate with several dance community organizations to create business partners. And so we're very proud to have the Atlanta Ballet, Dance 411 Studios, the DARE Project, Area, Atlanta's Resource for Entertainment and the Arts, as well as their Creative Spark Foundation, the Atlanta Dance Connection, and Dance Canvas.
So you also collaborate with other artistic directors and choreographers in the industry. One of our interviewees, which is Allyne Gartrell, I hear, who was also one of your choreographers for your upcoming fall production, Musically Sound. So what's your relationship with Mr. Gartrell?
Mr. Gartrell is my mentor. I met Mr. Gartrell when I was in high school, and I've trained with him over the years, and he stayed connected with me as I migrated to the Atlanta area. And so just the privilege of having him come back home and work with my students here has just been a full encompassing journey for me artistically. Artistically, he's a hard worker, and he's pretty tough, and I have big shoes to fill to aspire to be like him.
So that leads me to my next question. Tell us about your relationship with Area, Atlanta's Resource for Entertainment and Arts.
Well, through their Creative Spark Foundation, they have supported a service learning, arts-based program for students here at Maynard Jackson. So the students here who are in the 11th and 12th grade actually go into the feeder schools, the schools that blend into Maynard Jackson, and they teach the students dance there. So those students receive training with Area on pedagogy of dance and choreography, as well as scholarship training to train with professional artists, and then they go out into those schools and teach those children dance, and so that there's a transition of dance studies before they reach the high school level.
So you have a fall concert coming up for the students of Maynard Jackson High School, correct?
That's correct. The title of the show is Musically Sound.
Do we have a theme?
That's the title, and that's the theme. And basically, we have live African drumming and dance. That's a African production that ends the concert. It's titled The Witch Doctor, as well as a guitarist that's playing in our lobby, and a harpist.
So we have, not only is it dance, but it's like a theatrical dance, like just all throughout.
Yes, just a combination of all the musical genres: soul, classical, R&B, all the African and ethnic dance and music, just a celebration of music.
Oh, wow. So is that going to turn into maybe a progression of time, or just a fusion, a nice hodgepodge of art?
More so a fusion, like you're saying, a hodgepodge of art.
Awesome. That's wonderful. Now, you mentioned that you are getting your doctorate. And
In arts education. I'm actually writing about arts education reform. It's no secret that the arts are constantly being cut, the budget, as well as the economy, but it's very difficult right now. So in public education, there is a need for us to reform some of the practices we currently have, one of which would be more of arts integration, which will allow core academic teachers to utilize the arts in their classrooms, because there's many students who do not have arts programs in visual art or music at their schools. So once we have the opportunity to have dance, that's a major thing. The other is just really promoting arts advocacy. You know, on the level of the industry in New York City and Atlanta and LA, the arts are just seen as spectacle and entertainment. But we have to be more proactive and understand the humanistic contributions that the arts provide children in their growth and providing a holistic student.
absolutely. So upon receiving your doctorate, what are some of your plans for the Atlanta public school system, or do you plan to execute things on a national level, or, tell us about some of that?
Well, I enjoy being in the classroom. I enjoy being creative. However, my mission would be to continue the arts programming, be a voice for the students. There needs to be more people in the higher end administratively. So I would say if there's a place for me to continue arts programming and strengthening the curriculum and being a true advocate for the arts, I'll just be fine with doing that.
Absolutely. Well, you definitely have a very kindred spirit, and thank you for allowing us to ask you a few questions here. Definitely keep doing what you're doing, and we will look forward to seeing the fall production entitled
Musically Sound.
Musically Sound by the dancers of Maynard Jackson High School. Now that you've heard that great interview from Tiffany Mingo, check out some of these highlights from the fall concert series featuring Maynard Jackson High School. All right, folks. Well, it's about that time. We certainly appreciate you joining us today. As always, check us out at www.mrmdanceshowcase.com. We have message boards there. Tell us how you feel. And you can like us on Facebook by searching MRM Dance Showcase. Now, you know where you can find me, Nikki LaShae, at NikkiLaShae.com. Tune in next week.